Hi, my name's Matt, and today I'm going to be listening to Heaven Knows by PinkPantheress. So this is actually one of my most anticipated albums of the year, and it's been hard holding it off for the past few weeks while I've been away from YouTube, because I knew I wanted to do a reaction to it. Mosquito is one of my favorite pop songs all year, and I think what PinkPantheress is doing for mainstream pop is honestly almost underappreciated. Drum and bass and jungle and house music and garage music is all stuff that she's bringing to the mainstream pop sphere and is becoming hugely trendy and influential, and she was kind of at the forefront in the start of all that, and I think her influence and impact right now is kind of underappreciated. Ever since she's come onto the scene, I've been a huge fan and I love her sound, and I'm just super excited to get into this album. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. Okay, so the first song off her debut album is Another Life featuring Rema. I have no idea who this is, but let's get into it. Interesting, like, almost like spooky organs, like Halloween vibes. Oh. This production is so cool. Right away with the drum and bass vibes. Love the bass line. She's improved so much. This chorus is so good. This is some of the best pop production I've heard all year. It's so clean and smooth. Love the chords, that cool like spooky organ. Okay, that was the first track, Another Life. A short but sweet start. Really just came in, punched, left, gave you all it needed to give. A great song, already with the drum and bass vibes, which I'm a huge fan of. I thought the production on this sounded really nice, and PinkPantheress always has nice, clean pop production, but this song specifically sounds like a step up to me, at least. Everything sounded so clean and crunchy. You could hear all the sounds that had their own space, the synths, the pads, the drums, like everything had its own place in the mix. Even the vocals, the way it was mixed, was very clean, smooth. Her songwriting and the melodies were beautiful, and I know that's something you can expect from PinkPantheress, but even this as an album opener was like really strong start, a lot stronger than I was honestly expecting. I thought we were gonna kind of ease into it, but this is like a banger off for it. So yeah, really love this one. Okay, next we have True Romance. Shout out Tarantino.
Say what you want, this is true romance. I know you're older, but I really know I'm sure. Held my tickets and say
Interesting guitars.
I've been a fan of you since 2004. Tell me, do you feel me the same, or do you call me a stranger? Stranger. 'Cause baby, I don't care about the fame. I'm in the crowd, can you see my hands?
Nice break beat.
Help me understand.
This weird synth in the left ear is really cool. Okay, that was True Romance. Another really short one. I feel like this album is just gonna come and go so fast. Maybe that's for the better though, you know, it doesn't overstay its welcome. Definitely from these first two songs, it is giving me the vibe that I wish I got a little bit more. I like PinkPantheress' style of songwriting and song structure of just really getting into it. You get verse, chorus, a cool little outro, and you're gone. You know, just gives you everything it needs to give and is gone. But I am wanting a little bit more from these songs because by the time they're over, I'm not tired of them. I'm not like fully fulfilled. I feel like I need more. But besides that, both of the songs have been great. This one I liked a little bit less. A lot of the things I said about the first one apply to this one as well. I just feel like this one, the melodies and like catchiness aren't as strong. The first one, the hook and the verse was like so good. Right away got in my ear. I love the melody, sounded pretty. This one, strong, but I just personally prefer the first one. Okay, next we have Mosquito. One of my favorite pop songs so far this year. Super good, super strong. Love the beat, love everything. Let's just, listen to it.
On a Monday, can I see you? Can I check my numbers? Cause I want to.
Maybe Tuesday,
Can I spend a fortune?
cause I want to. Oh, I love this song so much. I remember when the snippet came out like 2 years ago and I was waiting for this. And I'm so happy it finally dropped.
I was too young starting out. Now I'm too scared that you might leave me. I feel like I'm still a child because I always cross my fingers. Cause I just had a dream I was dead, and I only cared cause I was taken from you. You're the only thing that I own. I hear my bell ring, I'd only answer for you.
Love the guitars in this song a lot. Okay, that was Mosquito, which I've already heard and I really love. Not much to say about that one. Definitely my favorite so far. Super catchy. Her voice is so pretty. I love it so much. Just great. Moving on to the next one. Interesting.
It's one of those unfortunate things. The bad things always happen to me. You always find your way right back to me. This problem again. Look what I started. I lay in your bed. That's how it started. A little bit more.
Super cool production.
Make you wish that you had never come to me. Cause I picture you one day after you improve. And you're looking at me up. It's a thing that makes me smile. So I can't I be romantic with you? I'm guessing there's something about this stuff.
I'm loving the synths on this song.
This sticky situation with
What am I getting from this? 90s?
goes for two.
I know a lot of her vibe is like early 2000s, but this gives me like 90s.
Always find your way right back to me. This problem again. Look what I started. You stay in bed where you'd rather be instead. Now you're not quite stuck with me, but one day you'll be.
Love those guitars. Maybe it's like 70s that I'm getting. I'm getting like kind of a funk vibe. Okay, that one was The Isle. That one was really cool. I think now, okay, hear me out. I think this one's my least favorite so far, not because it's bad by any means. I just didn't find it as catchy or the chorus as enjoyable as the other three songs, but it was still very, very good. So don't get it twisted. The production on this was so interesting. I love the like filter sweeping and EQ sweeps on like the synths and like pulsating melodies in the left ear in the background that was kind of moving around. Super cool. The big like fat drums. I don't know what era it was giving me. I think 70s maybe. It had a very funk vibe. I liked the bass. Her voice sounded good as usual. Super cool. A bit like slightly different production than the last few, which is cool. I like to see it. Okay, so next we have Nice to Meet You with Central C. I'm not gonna lie, before this dropped, I heard a snippet of it like a year ago, I think, and I really liked it and I've been waiting for it. And then also after it dropped, when the album came out, I heard a little bit of it, so it's not completely new to me, but this is my first time like fully hearing it through. And this be from Cash, not from YouTube.
I pray that I'll die
This one, my baby.
I'll take a risk if anyone tries to touch my baby. That's my take me in my
I love the way on the love like riff, everything opens up.
nice to meet you. My love's pouring like a waterfall. I pray that I'll die before my baby. I'll take a
Interesting
risk if
switch up.
anyone tries to touch my baby. That's my baby.
Oh, nice Jersey Club switch up with the rhythm. I'm assuming this is what the rhythm will be for Central C's verse.
I woke up to my shorty crying. I said, no, I'm not being unfaithful, baby. And somehow she caught me lying. I tried to say it wasn't me, it was one of my G's, we could call the guys. But it weren't one time, it was 4 or 5. Long story short, we don't talk no more. Now she on TikTok doing story time. And across the world, you still cross my mind. I'm a trap boy and she
The
like
production
cookies,
is
so I
so
remember
cool
correctly,
on
I
this
don't
one.
have type. Cupid try aim at
All
my
the
heart,
switch
but
ups in the
don't
rhythm
let
from
it
like
go.
trap to Jersey Club to drum and
It
bass.
must be nice.
Okay, I think that was my least favorite so far. Still a decent song. I think, well, the main reason, I'm not a huge fan of Central C. His verse was not bad. It was all right. I didn't hate it as much as I thought I would. I really love the production on this, the drums, everything about the beat, the way it opened up during the chorus. My main issue, I really enjoy the chorus. I think it's catchy, but something about this song feels very broken up. Like different segments of the song don't feel like they flow together that well, and it feels like it's like broken up into sections, and I don't really like that much. There's definitely a lot I do like about the song, but there's also a decent amount I don't like, so it's just kind of conflicting, somewhere in the middle, I'd say. Okay, next we have Bury Me with I don't know how to say her name. I listened to her album earlier this year and thought it was decent, but I just don't know her name, so yeah, let's get into this one. Benny X.
Sad of watching you smile, the way that you feel. You took a step back and now I'm missing my meals. So why can't we just be who we are, baby? Why can't we just be who we are, baby? Won't you bury me? Can't you bury me? I almost fell in love, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I never wanna come unless you're comfortable. Ignore me when I get there. Where do I go? Half an hour past and you already know. Almost fell in love, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, that was definitely my least favorite so far. I feel like I like the Benny X beat. I thought it was cool, atmospheric. I just feel like it doesn't go as well with PinkPantheress' sound because it's so like mellow and atmospheric. It lacks a lot of layers and feels kind of empty, and I feel like that's kind of counterintuitive with PinkPantheress' sound. I also felt like the verses and choruses were kind of repetitive, and the melodies didn't feel as strong, less memorable. Overall, this whole song just felt a bit forgettable to me. Wasn't really a fan of the featured verse. So yeah, this one is just all right. Definitely one I would not come back to. Interesting. Another like spooky sound in the back.
You're a needy guy, but I guess I kind of like that. You came on too strong, but I guess I kind of like that. I got this rhythm for you. It goes a little something like a why. You offered a brand new tattoo. You wanna put your name on me, here's why. You're a needy guy, but I guess I kind of like that. You came on too strong, but I guess I kinda like that. I am not your internet baby. I am not your internet baby. I am not your internet.
Interesting use of auto-tune for PinkPantheress.
Baby.
Okay, that was Internet Baby Interlude, a pretty solid one. I don't really get why this is listed as an interlude. On an album where the songs are like 3 or 4 minutes, I guess I would see it. But there's literally songs that are listed as full songs that are shorter than this one. So I don't know what classifies this as an interlude. Um, I feel like this one is pretty similar to some of the others. Doesn't do something crazy different. Generic drum and bass beat, kind of a trap flare during the verse. I think what sells the song for me is I really, really like the chorus. It's nice. I like the harmonies on the vocals. The verse was solid. Cool post chorus and outro. Some interesting stuff done with the auto tune and the repetition of "I am not your internet baby." So yeah, a cool one. Not one of my favorites, but definitely a solid one. Better than the last one. Okay, next we have Ophelia. I like these like plucky string like synths. This kind of gives me old PinkPantheress. I don't really know why. Is this like a harp synth?
So tell me, what did I do to deserve you? Kidding me this way, I can't lose my life like this. I stop fighting. If I die, please let them find me. 'Cause my got a message telling me that I should come onto yours now.
The drum pattern kind of reminds me of some songs off SOS by SZA.
And when I went inside and
A very R&B vibe.
you're not sorry, and no one else had this effect on me. Now I'm here, but your neighbors will hear me screaming until they find me here. So tell me, what did I do to deserve you? Kidding me this way, I can't lose my life like this. I stop
Because of the bass and the drums, this part of the song feels very heavy. Cool synth in the left.
You can see me underwater. As I descend, I see my life flash again. Flash again, I see my life flash again.
Oh, drum and bass coming in for the outro. Okay, that was Ophelia, another really solid one. I like that we departed from the drum and bass sound a little bit and got more of a, I guess, R&B vibe. I really liked the atmosphere on this song, the bass, the synths, that cool like fluttery synth in the left ear, and then the like plucky like harp strings, I think. They were definitely like synths, but I think it was like a harp synth. Really cool. I thought the vocal melodies were catchy on this one once again. The chorus was nice, nice verse. Nothing crazy, not one of my favorites, but continuing the role of just solid song after solid song. So, can't really go wrong with a good produced Pink Panther song. Like this production already.
Oh no, baby, oh no. You never took the time to phone home. You never took a vow to not go. I'm loving you a little like slow. I'm not going to bed because you want me to. Tell me why you allow alcohol get to you.
I really like this pre-chorus.
And this, but this fairy tale. I just wanna feel complete. I guess I never knew you very well.
This is some 90s, 2000s R&B.
I guess I never knew
The strings, those chords.
I guess I never knew you very well. Yesterday I took a sip of your rum. I don't think today I'll face anyone. So I guess I never knew you very well.
Oh,
I guess I never knew you very well. I guess I never knew you very well.
nice guitars. This outro is really pretty.
I just wanna feel
Okay, that was another one of my favorites. Again, I know I said this earlier in the album, but this production is so nice, so clean, so beautiful. The layers on this song were amazing. So many different chords and just sounds in the beat. I loved how 90s and early 2000s R&B this was inspired with the drum rhythm, and then as the song progressed, we got the like chants in the background, the uh 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 and the like claps that are very like old school R&B. I also think in terms of song construction, and the structure of it, I think this one is one of the most like perfect pop songs on the album. I love the way the first verse is with the production, and then as the pre-chorus comes in, it fills out, which by the way, I love that pre-chorus. And then the additional layers come in, and then we get a bit of a dropout, and it gets a little bit more like open during the chorus and just a cool rhythm. Then we get the next verse, and it continues building off that. And then by the outro, we have these cool chords with like pads and then some guitars in both ear. Uh, and then I haven't even commented yet on how well like the songwriting is on this, and the melodies are just beautiful. Yeah, great song, one of my favorites for sure. But I'm also just a sucker for like 90s, 2000s R&B. I just love that aesthetic. I love all the filtering and like EQ on this album with the melodies where it comes in and out.
I base my life on looks that I saw you give. Now, if you change your mind, I'll buy the same everything.
3-minute song too.
Why'd you have those doubts? How many times do I dream of reaching out? I guess you'll never know. I'm not hanging with ya. I'm not hanging with ya. I'm not hanging with ya. I'm not hanging with ya.
Some old school like strings again.
Stop, you're everything I can't be. Except I get wondering eyes. It looks much better in the side of your
I love the throwback vibes that PinkPantheress brings.
the same old you, the same old me. Stop, you're everything I can't be.
Whoa. Love this section so much.
I base my life on your face, you're everything.
I love when she goes into her lower, deeper range.
You never know. I'm not hanging with ya. I'm not hanging with ya. I'm not hanging with ya.
These are almost some like 2016 EDM synths. At least that's the vibe I get. Love that woodwind sound too. Okay, that was Blue by PinkPantheress. Another one of my favorites, just banger after banger. What I said about the last one, about the structure being really strong, I think applies even more to this song, and I love the way it builds. I know, I don't know. There's so many like details and textures in this song, in layers. For a pop album, it's really like one of the most layered albums I've heard. So many cool sounds and interesting things being done in the production. And there's never a moment where I'm questioning like, oh, that's off, that's weird. Everything sounds like perfectly in its place. This song is super catchy as well. One of my favorites in terms of melody, and every section, the post-chorus, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, every section of this song is catchy, which is just insane. So another great one. Benny X and Filthy production on this.
It's my philosophy. It really slows you down. You can't look at me now. This feeling I bear you while you're on the stage. No, I can't take a
This one feels very like grand so far and heavy.
I'm wondering what made me feel this way. I worry, 'cause no one ever told me to worry. This feeling I bear you while you're on the stage. No, I can't take a pill, and yet I can't stay still. But I don't want that making you worry, 'cause no
Her voice sounds very like AI robotic on this song. Not in a bad way, it just is interesting. Cool percussion. Okay, that was an interesting one. Definitely the most different sounding on the album. Almost sounded like dark and like heavy, like sounded more like something that the melodies and or okay, let me rephrase. The melodies and the production sound more something you'd hear on like a dark trap beat, like I don't know, on Rodeo or like a Future album. Not something you'd hear on a Pink Panther song. And then it was lined up with these like kind of drum and bassy, not exactly drums, and then that heavy like booming 808s and bass. Um, I liked the song. I didn't dislike it, but it was definitely a bit strange. The chorus was catchy. I really like the melodies on it. It just felt like it was almost contrasting the beat and production too much. Like it almost like in my brain, I'm like, does this go together? Does this fit? And I think it does. It's just a bit of a weird combination. So an interesting one. Not fully sure how I feel about it yet. Okay, next we have Capable of Love, which is the last song I haven't fully heard. I think I've heard snippets of this because I've been following PinkPantheress for a while, and I'm pretty sure this is a long-awaited snippet just based on the name. Um, but yeah, let's get into it.
So we have a day prepared. It's in your right and don't forget. I know last
Yeah, I
time
definitely
you felt
recognize
so
this.
sad that you couldn't make it. Let's do later instead.
Cool synths again. Another almost 4-minute song.
I always wondered if we passed on the street, and I still never asked you yet to meet. Think I need a picture 'cause it's never enough to see you smiling in my mind when I lay still in the dark. It starts with you. Starts with you.
I love that run.
Idea that one day it breaks up, 'cause after that I know I'll never be as capable of love. Three little words, dedicate them to me. Please make them personal, then say them to me. My focus is everywhere, I'm not listening. I got a reading on my palm just to see. And I think I need a picture 'cause it's never enough to see you smiling in my mind when I lay still in the dark. It starts with you. Starts with you. I'm obsessed with the idea that one day it breaks up, 'cause after that I know I'll never be as capable of love. After you. After you.
Okay, that was Capable of Love. Honestly, one of her best songs, I think. The progression and the production is so grand and beautiful. Her melodies and lyrics are just really ear catching. Yeah, I think this is one of her best structured songs, best produced songs, best written songs. It just feels a lot more fleshed out than a lot of the other songs, just due to the length alone, and then plus all the other additions to this song just make it feel so great. Um, I do know that Boys a Liar Part 2 is the next and last song, and before I get into that, I am going to listen to it. After hearing this, I definitely am kind of upset at the sequencing because I think Boys a Liar Part 2 should most definitely be somewhere in the middle of the album, and this definitely should have been the outro. Just how it progressed and how it kind of exploded, expanded during the last chorus, and we got that pretty outro, and then we're just going into Boys a Liar. It feels odd to me, especially so far, an album with actually pretty great sequencing, in my opinion, for a mainstream pop album. It just seems odd to make that decision. So, yeah. But anyway, getting into Boys a Liar.
Take a look inside your heart. Is there any room for me? I I won't have to hold my breath till you get down on one knee, because you only want to hold me when I'm looking good enough. The point of crying, it was never even enough. Did you ever want me? Was I ever good enough? But boys are liar, but boys are liar. He doesn't see her. You're not looking at me, boy.
He say that I'm good enough, got my think about shit that I should've known. So I tell him it's one of me, he making fun of me. His girl is a bum to me, like that boy is a cap. Saying he home, but I know where he at. Like, but he blowing her back. Think about me, cause he know that it's fat.
But boys are liar, but boys are liar. He doesn't see her. You're not looking at me, boy.
Okay, so that was Boys a Liar Part 2, the final track. After hearing that, it's pretty clear that this was just tacked on as a way to boost streams, which I get it. It's something that every artist is doing nowadays. It hurts the flow of the album for me and makes it feel less like, without this song, just those first 12 songs, that's an album. This just feels like a stupid bonus track. And it's cool. My hot take about this song is, don't get me wrong, don't cook me. I do like it. I just think during the era that she dropped this, before she added the Ice Spice feature, when she dropped Do You Miss Me, Boys a Liar, a few other songs, this was honestly one of my least favorite at the time. I like Do You Miss Me more, all the other ones that dropped more, and I felt like this one was just alright compared to the other ones. Then it blew up because of the chorus on TikTok. They added Ice Spice, which the Ice Spice verse is cool. Her ad-libs are kind of funny now that I'm listening to it again. They're just so like, damn, huh, gra. It's just really like monotone and funny. But yeah, this song, I get why it's big. It's nice, like it's a bit of a bop, but it's cool, nothing crazy. I've never been a huge fan of it, and especially the way it's added onto this album, just not a big fan if I'm being honest, but yeah. Okay, so that was Heaven Knows by PinkPantheress. A very, very, very good pop album. In terms of pop albums this year, definitely one of my favorites. And then in terms of mainstream pop, maybe my very favorite. I feel like this album is low-key gonna be slept on for how great it actually is. First of all, it's one of the most layered, detailed, and textured mainstream pop albums I've heard in a while. It really is great and clean, and everything production-wise is so good, and it's even more experimental and innovative than I think people will give it credit for. Given the fact that PinkPantheress really brought this sound to the mainstream and is doing something that no other artists were doing, and it is now becoming like this huge thing, like drum and bass coming back to mainstream pop music is not something I think anyone would have predicted a couple of years ago. I think this album is going to be heavily influential. Again, it's not going to get the credit for it, but it is. I just think this album is really, really great as a pop album. I think it's everything you should wish for from a mainstream pop album. I think like at least like half the songs on here are great, almost perfect pop songs. I think during the middle section, there was a few songs that were solid, decent, not as great. There's a little bit of a lull, but the beginning and the end were amazing. I loved all of those songs. I love the drum and bass elements. I love the R&B elements. All the production was so smooth and pretty. Her voice is really great. I guess the only thing I could ask for more from her as a performer is more range in her performance, which is something I've been thinking about for a while. I love her as a vocalist, but she does stay kind of one note. She's still like expressive, like you get feelings and emotions out of her voice and her lyrics, but you don't have a huge range in what she does, which is fine. I think it works for this album. It worked for her last album. But yeah, great album. Definitely a huge step up for her. And I'm excited to see where she goes next. Definitely one of the most promising mainstream pop artists right now in the current music landscape. So I think off first listen, I'm feeling 8.5 on this one. Really great. Loved it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of the album down below in the comments. And yeah, let's just discuss, talk about it, all that. If you want to see my final ratings and final reviews, follow me on Album of the Year, which will be on the screen right now and also in the description. Follow my Instagram, Twitter, which is also in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.